made me do it. I really am treating myself that I'm being better at buying books. Hi lovelies! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Maria and today's video is going to be a book haul. So this is basically some of the books that I've bought in April. Some of them are just the start of May as well, but I decided to include them in the video today because they've been delivered and there's no point in keeping them in a box until next month. So usually in these videos I do include all of the books that I bought in April, but a lot of the books that I bought I did actually feature in some vlogs and other videos, so I don't want to be too repetitive, so I probably won't include them in the video today, but I will link the videos that they are included in the description below. So if you do want to check out those vlogs, see some of the other books I bought this month, and definitely go and check those ones out. But I do still have a few here that I haven't discussed with you and haven't talked about on camera or anything, so just going to be going through those. As you can see, most of them are kind of Fairy Loot and Illumicrate boxes, and then I do have one big pre-order down the bottom here which you can't see, a Waterstones pre-order, and then just a couple of books that I bought when I was out shopping on Waterstones as well. So yeah, a bit more of a modest haul than I had last month certainly, and I am trying over the next few months to really curb on my book buying because I have quite a lot of books that I need to get through, so really trying to reduce that as much as possible. So you may see these hauls getting smaller and smaller, and they may just be included in other videos as well, but definitely have enough to get through today, so thought I would still do a dedicated video for this one and go through all the books that I've bought recently. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the haul. Okay, so I'm just going to move these books down because they're kind of really leaning on top of me, so let me see if I can do this. Oh, they're quite heavy. Okay, so the first two books that I'll go through are the books that I bought when I was out shopping in Waterstones. So the first one is 10 minutes and 38 seconds in this strange world, and this is by Elif Shafak, which is a new author to me, one that I have actually just recently read from. So I read their book There Are Rivers in the Sky and really enjoyed it. So it's obviously a bit more literary fiction. I'll be including that book in my wrap up at the end of the month, so if you want to see what I thought about it, definitely check out that video or go onto my Goodreads because I do have all of my reviews on there as well. Again, they're always linked in the description below, but I've seen a lot of people talk about this author saying that they're really great when it comes to literary fiction and a lot of historical fiction and things like that, so decided to pick up a couple of their books just to try. And as I say, I've read There Are Rivers in the Sky and I'd heard some great things about this one because it has such a really unique concept in that it's essentially following this character at the last 10 minutes of their life. Essentially they've just been murdered, and I believe the story is kind of flashbacks of their life and going through how they got in this situation. So we obviously know at the start of this it's going to be a sad ending, but I just never read anything with this kind of concept, so really intrigued to see how that's done, and really loved her writing in There Are Rivers in the Sky, so I'll be really excited to pick this one up when I get a chance to. Next up I've got Servant of Earth by Sarah Hawley, and this one I'm going to be completely honest, I went into just off recommendations that I've seen on Bookstagram and I don't know a huge amount about what this one's about. I just know that there are fae in here, there are trials, there's a rebellion, I believe there's a lot of romance in here as well, and I just heard some really great things about this one. And I haven't read from this author myself, but I know she does have quite a popular series. I think it's The Witches, let me just check, I think it's in here. Yeah, so A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch, A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire, and I've seen those, I haven't read them, but I have seen those being talked about and getting quite high praise as well. So this definitely seems like it's more of my speed and more like the type of story that I would like to read, and I just really love the cover as well. I think it's a really beautiful cover, so bit of an impulse buy, bit of a Bookstagram made me do it, but I'd say a high percentage of the books on my shelves are probably under that category as well, so it usually doesn't steer me too far wrong, so I'll be really intrigued to see if I enjoy this one again when I get a chance to pick this one up. Next up is a pre-order from Waterstones, and this is the sequel to a book that I have already read, so at least I'm a little bit more informed about what this one's about. And this is A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. So the first in this is A Fate Inked in Blood. Read that last year when it came out, really loved it. Danielle L. Jensen also wrote the Bridge Kingdom series, which I've read all 5 that are out in that and really love them as well. I think if you're a romantasy reader, you definitely need to pick up her stuff because when it comes to writing enemies to lovers, angst, tension with a good amount of political intrigue in there, she's definitely one to watch. And initially I wasn't going to pick up this edition because I do have the Fairy Loot edition of the first book, but the Fairy Loot edition of this book isn't coming out until June, or at least the order isn't going to be until June, so probably won't get that until like July or August. And I do really want to read this, and I think the Kindle book was going to be about £5 cheaper than this or something like that, so decided to pick up this edition, and it's actually a really pretty edition. It does have some sprayed edges on there, it's signed, and then we do have some foiling on the front cover as well, so it's a really pretty edition. Quite sad I didn't end up getting the first edition of the first book of this one because they would have been really pretty together, and I do like the artwork on these as well. If you haven't read the first one in this series, basically we're following Freya, who is a shield maiden, and she's been hiding this magic from kind of her town her whole life. She's been told that it's forbidden, and she's also bound in an unwanted marriage to a really horrible man at the start of the first book as well, and her fate turns essentially when she's discovered by this powerful Jarl who basically takes her and thrusts her into a world of political intrigue, and she has to kind of learn to navigate her way through that, and all the while the Jarl's son is basically catching her eye, let's say, and there is a bit of an explosive twist at the end. As always with Danielle L. Jensen, she knows how to do a plot twist really well. So I've been really highly anticipating the second book since I read that one, hence why I didn't want to wait. So I'm hopefully going to pick this one up really soon because I did really love that first book and want to continue the series before I forget too many of the details. It's also a pretty short book, and I think this is the end of the series, so again it just means I'd be finished within a series and be able to tick that off my series sheet. But yeah, really excited to get to this one soon. Okay, so next up are my subscription boxes. So I'll do the Illumicrate one first. So within the Illumicrate one, I was really excited when I heard what the book was going to be for this month because it sounds like everything that I absolutely love. And that is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson, and I've heard some great things about this. I've heard it's a little bit of dark academia, there's a bit of a murder mystery in here as well, and yeah, just anyone that I've seen that's read it has said it's been really good. So I believe this is a completely redesigned cover. So this is the redesigned cover. We've got some foiling on there, and then a quote on the back that says, "Win the throne, destroy an empire, either way it begins with murder." Then we have these really pretty stenciled / sprayed edges. And then we do have a printed hardcover as well. And then there is some character art on the end papers, and it's different on the back as well. And yeah, all this one says is, after 24 years on the throne, it is time for Barson the Brusque, Emperor of Oran, to bring his reign to an end. In the dizzying heat of the midsummer, 7 contenders will compete to replace him. Trained at rival monasteries, each contender is inspired by a sacred animal: fox, raven, tiger, ox, bear, monkey and hound. An 8th, the dragon proxy, will be revealed once the trials have begun. 8 exceptional warriors, thinkers, strategists, and the best of the best. Then one of them is murdered. It falls to the brilliant but idiosyncratic Nima Kra to investigate, but as she hunts for a killer, a darker force is gathering. If Nima succeeds, she could win the throne, whether she wants it or not, but if she fails, she will sentence herself to death and set in motion a sequence of events that could doom the empire. So yeah, it sounds like there's a bit of everything in there essentially. There's trials, there's dark academia, there's a murder mystery. It's a pretty chunky one, so it looks like it's going to take me a while to get through. How many pages is this? Yeah, there's 646 pages, so it's a pretty chunky one. And I believe this is a series. It says number 1 on there. But yeah, definitely one I've had my eye on and was excited to see was part of the subscription. And if you've read this one, definitely let me know because it is out now. Let me know your thoughts and feelings if you have read it. But yeah, definitely one I'm excited to get to. And then next up we have the Fairy Loot. So I get the young adult book only and the adult book only. I kind of get the combo, so they come together. And I think this month was actually a really great month for the picks with Fairy Loot. I kind of got spoiled for this first one, so I think this is the adult book, and I got spoiled for this on Vinted, and as soon as I seen it I was so excited to receive it. And the book is basically This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abishakara? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let me just put it up to the camera for you. But yeah, I really love the vibes of this cover, kind of the scales and the dagger, and just the artwork is really, really pretty. I love the foiling and how it kind of complements that. And then on the back it just says Wisdom and Wrath. And then some really pretty end papers with the foiling on there, and they are different front and back. And then again, of course, the stenciled edges. Quite simple, but I do really like it. I think it's in theme and fitting with the book and the design. But this is what really caught my eye when I seen the editions of it on Vinted, and it's absolutely stunning. I love that artwork, and I don't know why. I think the artwork that's in here is kind of giving me Shadow and Bone vibes. I mean, doesn't that look like Alina? Potentially Alina and the Darkling? I don't know, maybe it's just me. And then we do have kind of a different colourway of the original cover, which again is really pretty. I do really like this, and I like the green colour that they have there. But yeah, overall just a really stunning edition, and it basically just says that after surviving a failed assassination attempt, a young prosecutor who can magically detect lies is assigned to work with a sadistic judge suspected of being involved in her attack. As she digs deeper into corruption and deception, her growing attraction for him threatens to unravel everything she thought she knew. So obviously going to be quite a big romantic subplot in here, I'm guessing. But yeah, the artwork and the description of this just makes me really intrigued to read this one, and kind of tempted to put it on the TBR for this month and just kind of push a few that I have on there up a few months because it's really catching my eye. But yeah, another great pick for the subscription boxes. And then we have the YA book, and again the design of this, I did see it on Vinted and was not disappointed because it's really pretty. It kind of looks like a bit like a grimoire, but basically, before I get into any of that, it's The Glittering Edge by Alyssa Villar, and this is the cover. Really pretty. I love some of the artwork on here. Definitely giving me kind of maybe witchy vibes. I don't actually know what this one's about, but it's definitely giving me some witchy vibes in this one. And then we've got some stenciled edges, which I really like. I think they're really pretty. Oh, okay. So I think this is a contemporary fantasy because just the artwork that we have on the end papers. Oh, okay, yeah, I think there's a bit of witchiness or occult kind of a storyline on here. And then we do have a printed hardback as well. So really pretty. And then we have this. It's not really an alternate dust jacket, it's just more of like, kind of looks like case files or something like that. So I'm wondering, is there a bit of a mystery in here? Maybe another murder mystery or something like that. But they're kind of the character profiles that we have on here, so yeah, I really like that. And yeah, the description for this one just says, desperate to save her mother from a deadly curse, Penny is forced to join forces with two bitter enemies from rival families, unravelling a dark, twisted secret that threatens everything she knows. As dark secrets emerge and magic spirals out of control, she risks her heart and her life to uncover the truth. And I'm wondering, is there going to be a bit of a love triangle in this one? It's YA. We've got 2 boys, 1 girl, and that kind of seems to be the setup for most of these stories, but if it's done right, I don't mind that. I can quite enjoy that. So yeah, I think either way, it's a really stunning edition. I haven't really heard anyone talk about this one, but just going by the artwork and the description, it definitely seems like something I could be intrigued by. So yeah, again, another solid choice for the subscriptions this month. Okay, so last up is a pre-order that I had from Fairyloot, and this is a set of a series that I've read and really enjoyed. And that is the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole. So the first book in the series is the Book of Azrael, and I actually completed this series at the end of last year. So I think there's going to be 6 books in the series, but currently there are 3 that are out, with the 4th one coming out later this year in October. So really highly anticipating the release of that one. But if you haven't heard of this series, essentially the first book follows Diana, who has been almost enslaved by this demon in reparation for him saving her sister a long time ago. So she basically agreed to serve him for however long he needed in exchange for that, and essentially one day he sends her on a mission to find this sacred artifact called the Book of Azrael, as whoever has it will get immense power. And along the way she ends up bumping into Sam Kael, who is also looking for this artifact, and their paths merge, and this is a true enemies to lovers story. It's urban fantasy, so it's set in kind of modern day, but with a bit of a twist of some more fantastical realms as well. And I think with this one, the way I always kind of recommend it is, if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or the Vampire Diaries, this is basically that in a book. She's really kind of encapsulated that vibe within this series, and so far I've really loved it. So the first book, as I say, is the Book of Azrael. So we do have some nice artwork on here with quite a bit of foiling. So it's kind of very red, black and silver on this. Then we have the sprayed edges, some really pretty end papers, but the thing that sold me on these books when I seen that they were coming out with them is the artwork on the covers. So this is some character art of Diana and Sam Kael. Really pretty. I love this art style. Who is the artist? I'm not sure who the artist was, I'll have to look that up, but really love the art style for this. Then we do have some cool art on the back as well. And then we've got Throne of Broken Gods, which is the second book in the series, which is a huge amount chunkier than the Book of Azrael, but again we've just got that foiling and it follows the whole way round. We also have the sprayed edges, similar but slightly different papers. And then again we have some of that character art as well on the naked hardback. And then the last one that has been released in the series is The Dawn of the Cursed Queen. So again, very similar format on here. Some slightly different sprayed edges. Again similar but slightly different end papers. And then we have that character art on there as well on the naked hardback. These are actually really heavy, but I'm going to try and show you the sprayed edges together. So as you can see, they are kind of in the same vibe, but very slightly different. And yeah, I just think these are going to be really pretty displayed on my shelf. And as I say, it's a series I've read and really loved, so really happy to have some special editions of these to add to my favourites. So that's all the books. I'm going to try and hold these, and I am kind of convincing myself that this is a more modest stack, but I mean, this is still a lot of books. This is plenty of books to be buying in any monthly period, and as I say, it's technically not all the books I bought in April, so I really am deluding myself that I'm being better at buying books, but I'm happy in my delusion, so I'm just going to stay here in there. But yeah, let me know the last book you bought and any books that are on your radar that you're wanting to haul soon. I'd love to hear any of your suggestions and things that are on your radar. I obviously don't need any help in finding things that I want to purchase, but definitely like to get your insights on books that you're looking forward to hauling soon. So remember to put those in the comments below. If you like this video, do remember to give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, remember to subscribe. I post 2 videos per week, and it's videos like this, so book hauls, TBR jars, reading vlogs, come shopping with me, all good bookish things like that. Other than that, thanks so much for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye!